Hey traders, Marcello here, founder of the Day Trading Academy. Today we're going to be talking about variable or fixed interest rates for a mortgage. Great question from Alyssa. This isn't really day trading related. I guess it's still kind of finance investing related. So I wanted to make sure I went ahead and answered this question. If you guys have any other questions, don't forget to mark them with hashtag #AskMarcello so I can find them really quickly. Whether you want to do it on Facebook, Instagram, Wandering Trader on Instagram, if you guys want to follow me there, and or here on YouTube as well. So question exactly is,
I'm currently in the process of buying a house. My lender is asking if I want to lock in my rates for a fee. Should I lock it in, or do you think the rate will lower anytime in the next week?
So Alyssa, one of the things that we have to understand, we have a problem as people, as humans, because we don't think about the past. We forget things very quickly. This is why we keep making mistakes voting for our leaders. It doesn't matter. I always try to be not political on my YouTube, right? So it doesn't matter if you're left or right. But in order to really understand where we're going, or in my personal opinion, where we're going to be in the next few years, I'm going to give you a little bit of a history in regards to the current economic climate and what I expect to happen, okay? To give you the short answer, I would do a locked-in rate. Now, you said that it's going to be for a fee, so I would ask what the fee is, and I would actually do the math. I don't think they're going to charge you $15,000 to lock in your rate, right? But if it's just a few $1,000s, I would definitely go for it. So we have been right now in the process of a massive economic expansion. In 1998, we saw a hedge fund collapse. It's called long-term capital management, and Wall Street basically bailed it out. In 2008, 2009, we had the financial crisis, the Great Recession, and that collapsed. And the reason why the crisis happened is because our financial system was going to completely collapse if it wasn't for who bailed them out? The governments. So 1998, the hedge fund collapsed. 2008, 2009, the financial system collapsed. Who bailed out the financial system? The governments, okay? So who's gonna bail out the governments in 2018, 2019, right? So if we, in my personal opinion, we cannot have a situation, it is economically impossible. There's absolutely no way that the world economy, the US economy, can keep growing forever. And this is what the government's assuming. This is what the Fed, the economic projections, all from the government are assuming. Because obviously the Republicans nor the Democrats want a bad economy on their hands, because then obviously we're going to vote for somebody else. Even though we're playing this charade, voting for Republican or Democrat, and still the same thing happens, right? I don't know. This is kind of political, but I don't know when we're going to come to our senses and actually vote for somebody in a different party. But anyway, so in an economic situation, we always have a economic expansion, and then we always have an economic contraction. In my personal opinion, the reason why we've had these crises, the reason why we've had Great Depressions, for example, like the one that we had in 1929, if you go out and study economic, not theory, but just the economy in the US, most people don't know that we've had more than one central bank. This is the third one that we've had, okay? And the first two failed. So it's only a matter of time until this one fails as well. And if we really look at the financial system in the world, we've had a certain economic or financial system every, on average, 94 years or so. We're in the 110th year of the current financial system, the way that it's been constructed today, okay? So the reason why I explain all this history for you, Alyssa, is because if we had the hedge fund collapse in 1998, then we had the financial collapse in 2008, 2009, and now we're going to have in my opinion, the crisis of our generation, and probably sometime in 2019, we're going to have a situation where interest rates are going to go up. They have to go up. So they've been suppressing. We have never had a situation in the history of the world where interest rates have been so low for this amount of time. And obviously everything needs the balance. We can never have one extreme or another. So if we have a situation, we've had such low interest rates for such a long time, eventually we need to have the counterbalance, and they need to go up, and then eventually we're going to find the balance. If you go back and look at history, if you go back and look at the interest rates or the economic cycles of the United States, we have had an economic contraction every 4 to 6 years on average. We're now in the 10th year. Let me count it for you. The recession technically ended, if I'm not mistaken, sometime in 2019. If I remember correctly, it was April 23rd, something like that, June maybe. So 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're now in the 9th year of an economic expansion. We're overdue for the contraction. And whenever obviously the contraction happens, things are not going to be very well. So I kind of summarizing all that, Alyssa, I would highly recommend that you choose a fixed fee, because I do believe that we're going to have interest rates rising quite a bit. I believe that inflation is going to go up quite a bit, and you don't want to own a house when the inflation, or the interest rates I should say, are at 15-20%, which they have been in the past, for example during the oil embargo of 1983. So that's what I would recommend, Alyssa. I would highly recommend that you go out and do your own research, right? Don't do this just because I'm telling you to do it. I'd highly recommend that you go out and actually study economic, not theory, because I believe, well, I'm not going to get into these conspiracy theories, but I would recommend a fixed rate, because in the long run you're going to save money. And if you can always refinance your mortgage to a lower rate, but if mortgage rates are actually higher, let's assume what I'm saying is absolute nonsense, right? And interest rates stay low forever and they keep going down. Well, you can always refinance your mortgage to get a lower rate, but you're going to be in a lot of trouble if you have a variable rate and the market's going up and you can't refi your loan, right? You can't refinance it. So either way that you look at it, I would still recommend the fixed fee. But as I said, do your research, go out and look up these things that I'm talking about. All the information is there in Google. And I wish you the best of luck, and congratulations on your new house.